Got an overcast sky this morning. I don't think much wind is predicted, but you never know. I'm planning on going sailing anyways, so we'll just have to see what happens. Pack up the camp, head down to the lake, see what the day will bring. I decided to put in at a nearby campground and go out and take a look at these two islands that I knew of. And wouldn't you know it, got to the ramp and it was just about a flat calm. But the ramp is way back in a creek, very protected and sheltered from the wind. There were a couple of guys in a bass boat. I think they had come from the campground, the only other boat on the water, and they were kind of trolling around. I think they were looking at their sonar, trying to see what the bottom was like, or maybe looking for structure to attract fish, or maybe just trying to find the creek channel actually. So I got out past the terrain and the trees that were blocking the wind and got out to a little bit more open water, and there was a very slight breeze, enough to move the boat, I thought. But the only problem was it was coming from exactly the wrong direction, of course. So I did try to sail a little bit, ended up tacking a couple of times, and it became clear pretty quickly that I really wasn't making any progress. So I just went ahead and got the oars out. Left the mizzen up, not really sure that was doing anything, but it makes me feel like I'm getting a little assistance from the wind. But it's probably not enough to make any real difference. Well, that was a very roundabout way of getting here. Wasn't making much progress, and then I tried to row a little bit with just the mizzen up, and that was going quite well until I grounded the rudder out in the chop, and it was like pounding the rudder vertically. As the boat was bobbing up and down the waves, the rudder was knocking on the bottom, so really didn't care so much for that. So I got off the flats by poling with the oar, and then just kind of drifted down here with the mizzen. I have a special trick for a really shallow landing like this. I walk up into the bow to move my body weight forward, and because of all the rocker in the bottom of the boat, it really picks the stern up a lot. You can even heel the boat over a little bit. That's as far as the boat's gonna go right there. Got the rudder dug into the mud a little bit, and then took the anchor upwind of the boat onto the beach. So here I am. Got some early autumn colors. Normally during the summer when the water is high, this is two islands. In the fall and winter, one island, joined by this gravel bar right here. You can find some interesting artifacts. I found all types of flint things. There was a home site over on this side of the island. Once found an old sad iron, which is like a old-timey clothes iron, maybe from the 1800s, which is basically just a big chunk of iron. It's shaped like a clothes iron like you would know today, but it's just literally a big chunk of iron with a handle on it. And you would set it in a fire or on a wood stove or something, and that's how they used to iron their clothes. Found one of those here once. That's why I refer to these islands as the Sad Islands. But they're not sad. They're happy. They're happy little islands. I'm happy to be here. A lot of sand and a little mud. And you gotta love walking in the mud, getting your feet muddy, and then walking in the sand. And then the sand just sticks to it.
Then came the dawn, the day you left me. I tried to smile with all my mind, but you
This is a pretty unusual sight. I can't say that I've ever seen a buoy standing up vertically that was on dry land before. Well, I had to wade out with the boat through the really sticky mud. That's not really my favorite thing to do, but there's about 50 or 60 foot of little mud flats where it's really shallow, so I had to push the boat out to deep water so the rudder would have good water. Right about as I got underway, a little bit of a rain squall came up, and along with a little bit better wind. I actually thought I was going to get to do some sailing, but it was short-lived. It only rained pretty hard with a good wind for about 10 minutes, I'd say. And I got pretty soaked, but I had my rain gear on and an insulation layer, so I wasn't cold or anything. It was about 60 degrees out that day, high of 60 degrees anyway, so it was chilly, but I kind of like that. Even getting rained on, I kind of like that, but if it had been a very sustained rain, that could have been a little bit dangerous, getting a little too cold, but as long as you keep your core warm, you'll probably be all right. Keep your core warm and stay reasonably dry.